So, is my room okay? Let's just make sure I don't look like a fucking slob.
It's okay. Both our rooms look like shit right now.
Wait, hang on. Let me just make my bed really quick.
You must see the ball of.
Because we are professionals.
We are. We
are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Professional podcasters that wait a month after the race to talk about it.
Well, anyways, you had to mourn. All right.
I did mourn. It was really sad. I cried.
Yeah, you didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. You went ghost. I honestly I thought you were at the bottom of a ditch somewhere. You might have been drunk, but I thought in the worst way.
Yep, I was drunk, cursing out Martin and Marquez just because fuck Marquez.
Well, welcome to the MotoGrandPodcast. I'm your host, Patrick Bailey. Joining with me, as always, is the no longer depressed
Caleb.
Because
a little sad.
And rightfully so. The 3-peat was not to be. It was a stretch. It was a stretch going into the final race, but that little bit of hope was always there. That the Martinator celebration was kind of lit. It took forever. When he went in that box, I know you didn't watch it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm glad I don't.
As soon as the race ended, I'm sure you turned it off. But So after the race, there's always the little celebration, the championship celebration. Martinez was dope. He did a little finger gun thing, and a block of ice exploded into the champion, and the championship helmet was revealed. It was sick. It lasted 2 seconds, but he went into like a little Martinator box, and he changed out of his leathers, which takes a while, especially when he was sweating. So he was like in there for like 15 minutes, and everyone was like, "So he's the champion."
The hype's already dying
down. Like, they had a lot to talk about for like the first 5 minutes waiting for him in the box, and then he just kept struggling, I guess, in there. I don't know what he was doing. Honestly, if I was him, I would have rubbed one out. That might have been what he did.
Honey, where are you?
Like, honestly, if you had that chance and opportunity, would you? I mean, think about it. You just won one of the greatest championships in the world, and they allowed you to hide in a box for as long as you need.
I just won the championship. Time to come.
100%. 100%.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. All I gotta say is it's really sad when Pecco wins 11 races and wins the championship. That's all I gotta say about
the third rider in history to complete that feat too.
Yeah, to win that many. Yeah. The first one to ever do that and lose, obviously.
Yep. Because it was one of Rossi's championship years. Actually, I think Rossi did it like 4 out of 4 in like 4 or 5 of his championship wins. Rossi was insane. And then I think the other was Agostini, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't actually look. I saw Rossi's name and
I read it, saw Rossi, had to and I was more so focused on the fact that Bagnaia like didn't complete it, but I'm like 25% absolutely certain it was Agostini, and then like 75% like eh.
I'm about to look at it. Ooh, I'm in all caps mode right now.
Ooh, that's hype. But while you're doing that, some things to note coming into Moto2, Moto3 next season. There's a lot of hype.
There is a lot of hype. Next season, I'm really excited for. I'm still really sad that in some way, shape, or form, I am kind of rooting for Marquez just because he's on the same team. It's like, I'm mixed with.
Well, no, you can prey
mixed
on
feelings.
you can here. I'll give you your out right here, right now. You can
Please do.
still prey on his downfall because if he does horribly, Ducati looks stupid for losing Martin, and then you can root for the fact that Acosta will come to Ducati and dominate because KTM is $3 billion in debt right now or something crazy.
I'm thinking absurd.
Like
it's insane.
Like
Actually insane.
if it was like 3 million, I'd be like, okay, 3 million's chump change for KTM. Like that's not a big deal. But 3 bill, like
yeah.
that's like Suzuki numbers, and you don't see Suzuki on the grid anymore.
No, I don't think I've ever seen Suzuki. I haven't been watching long enough to have ever seen them on the grid.
I'm pretty sure Suzuki was gone, like, either it was their last year that you started watching, or it was the first year without him. One of those two.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Dude, I'm on a Wikipedia page right now because for some reason Google couldn't just tell me the answer, and it's telling me everything except for what I want to know.
That's typically how it goes. You're gonna have to scroll through Instagram.
Oh, dude, why does Wikipedia want to tell me literally everything? Like, it's got total wins, it's got everything, and just not most win, whatever.
But
I give up. I don't care. I'm sad.
Some things that have happened. There was a test. Granted, tests are very skewed results because a lot of people are testing new things. Some people are just learning and yada yada yada. But to put it into perspective how skewed test results are, Raul Fernandez was 5th. Fabio Quartararo was 2nd in the Barcelona test.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I hate to make it sound like that because there could be some interesting things. But like the most important thing that I really like to look at in tests is how many laps people completed. So Quartararo put in 75 laps. The highest looks like Raul Fernandez, who put in 82. Oh, Bez put in 84. Like, I like to see who is working, who is doing their due diligence.
Wait.
You know who put in the most laps? Agura.
Oh, that boy, he's so
that
excited.
Boy's working. I love it. You know who put in the least out of the rookies?
Who?
Take a wild guess.
Oh, little vermin.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
He put in 58.
God, when you sent me that, Patrick sent me a rip of this little piece of shit talking about his top 5 riders. Bro put Marquez over Rossi. Put Marquez as number 1. Dude, get off his Cocker Spaniel. This is stupid. That dude, he had a good fucking career. I get it. Fuck that guy.
In Furman's defense, he's Spanish, and there's like a Spanish-Italian feud, I guess. But I mean,
knew I never liked that guy. That's all I gotta say. Knew I never liked that guy. Dude, yeah. Where is this Instagram post? Why does MotoGP post 25 times a day?
Because they're big boys doing big things. Martin put in 77 laps, so Martin's working. Acosta put in 72. I feel like if you put in at least 70 or more, or no, maybe like 65 or more, you're really putting in like testing work. You're not really trying to see. You're trying to get a feel for the bike. You're doing your work. Marquez put in 49. The least on the entire grid, minus Salvadori, who put in 13. But
that guy just doesn't care. He just does not care.
Bagnaia only put in 58. Not to be too disrespectful, but either That's just factory Ducati being real cocky.
They can't be
Or
cocky. They just lost, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bagnaia is just like in rest mode. I don't know. It's like I don't really want him to be in rest mode. I kind of want him to be in the I need to fix my shit mode since I let Martin beat my brakes off in fucking sprint races. You know?
that is a huge question that needs to be raised again about the sprints. You take all the sprints away. Who wins that championship?
I mean, okay, let's be honest. So, we said Pecco's the first racer to win 11 races and lose. He's also, the only out of the three that had to go against sprint races. Also,
This is true.
so I mean, it's not like a crazy. I mean, it's a big difference. It's a big ass difference. It's a lot of extra points.
There was,
but
there's essentially 11 more races full of points.
I mean, dude, if you looked at these stats, just like of who did what, like podium wins, all that, you look at it and you're like, oh, Pecco won,
Right.
but he did. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it. Like, I get Martin, like, had a good strategy. Like it worked for him.
Martin was consistent.
He was very. But
it was almost reminiscent of Mir's championship win. It wasn't flashy. There wasn't a lot of wins, but he was,
just always there.
He was just up there. If he's not fighting for first, he's at least second or third, and if he doesn't have the pace, he's still top 5 somehow. It was one of those things where it's like he wasn't the fastest every weekend, and he knew it, so he took what he can get. And unfortunately, Bagnaia had one too many times where he had the pace but had to push a little more than he should have, and ended up on the ground and lost, crucial 16, 12 points here or there that really could have been an absolute difference maker. Like, especially Mazzano when he crashed out of, what was it, second? Or
second or third.
Or did he crash out of the lead? No, he never crashed out of the lead.
I think wait, was he in the lead? God, dude, I don't remember. I remember that happening, but now I can't remember.
I don't remember where he was, but I remember it was. I think he was behind Martin, and he was catching him. He was reeling him in. He was catching him, and it looked like he for sure was going to pass him because he was getting like half a second a lap on him, and then he went down. And it was one of those things where it's like, if he would have stayed up and passed him, that would have been crazy. That would have been like, oh, this is awesome. The championship's on. But when he tossed it, then it was.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you can all be like, if Pecco didn't crash, he would have won. But like, I don't need. It'd been so close, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who knows how it would have went? But Jesus Christ, I don't know what is going on. I'm trying to look stuff up on the MotoGP website, and it's pissed me off. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop. But I don't know, man. Pecco, like, he crashed out, but he didn't crash out like a whole lot. What was it, 3 times?
Pecco crashed out 7 or 8 times, I thought.
In races?
Not races, but sprints and races combined.
That's fair, yeah. He did crash out in sprints a lot early on, didn't he? God.
Yeah. And
he destroy us in sprints, dude. That little fucker gets first and second place every time.
I'm trying to.
I hate him. I absolutely hate him.
I wish I could see the stats from just one season.
I know, right? Why is it so inconvenient? Let me know.
Well,
if you find out how to do it, because I don't know how to do it.
That's one of those things where you got to write it in a book and then go back to and remember.
Okay.
Results and standings. Let's see if I can finagle my way through. Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
Yeah, so you figure that out and you let me know.
I would have to go through every single race and sprint race and
Why is this impossible?
I mean, it's not impossible. It's just improbable to do in 2 seconds.
I think we're just too stupid to know how to do it. Or
no, there's a way. There's a way to do it, but you have to physically count it, and I'm too lazy.
That's just. I feel like that's just a poor website. They should just be able to like tell me how good someone did during a season.
If they took advice from geniuses like us, then they wouldn't have any issues.
Yes, us. The guy. Yeah. We know there are problems, but we don't know how to fix
the absolute unbiased opinions of us truly.
If I was in charge, the website would only have Pekka on it.
If you were in charge, that makes sense. But no, I ain't standing for that.
Well, at least we can agree that Mark Marquez's stats are going to say something about how he sucks.
I am truly excited to see how it all plays out next season.
I'm scared. I'm excited for next season. I'm excited for our rookies. Everybody that went up besides Furman, I love. I
love Somcat. I am very pessimistic towards Somcat's chances of being competitive, but I'm very optimistic to see how happy he is to be on a MotoGP bike. Now,
I want to. He's not going to do good. Somcat, probably not.
I think I has the best chance of being competitive in MotoGP, skill wise, but unfortunately, I fear he's not. He's not going to be on the right bike. He's on a satellite Aprilia with Trackhouse, and I also just at the same time I don't think he's a MotoGP rider. I don't think he's MotoGP ready. I hope I'm wrong. I could be very wrong. I mean, I'm sure a million other people said Fabio Quartararo wasn't a MotoGP rider and he won a championship. Same with Joan Mir.
Yeah.
And then there's people who said Maverick Vinales was going to be the truth. And
I mean, like we've said many times, no one knows what's going to happen when someone switches. Like going up, it's a toss up, man. They could they could be the best racer in their division, move up, and never ever do anything in that career. You just don't know how it's going to play out, man. Like, also it could be vice versa. Like they get stuck or not stuck. Not be the best in like Moto 2 and then move up to GP.
Just absolutely gel with that GP bail. It would be an absolute dream come true if we woke up, that after that first MotoGP Sunday and got a spoiler that Somcat Chantra somehow won the race by a mile and be like, what? Did everyone die?
Did it rain and everybody got scared and then it stopped raining? What happened?
And Somcat was like, it's Thailand. I'm going crazy.
We all switch tires. Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
I'm so excited for next season. This season was awesome. We're already talking about next season. I feel like we need to just appreciate what we got this season. I mean, Moto 3, we saw the absolute emergence of the domination of David Alonso. I mean,
despicable, dude. Oh my God, that dude was on a different fucking planet than every single other rider out there. It was insane.
Like no one stood a chance. No one stood a chance. No,
what do you want?
No
7 in a row? Was it 7 or something like that? 6 in a row?
Something. Yeah. He won the championship and then won 3 more. Like, dude, calm down.
Dude, you and me were like, I remember we were talking. We're like, okay, so he's just gonna chill, right?
Yeah. Like it's over. He's got the championship. He can just.
And then bro came out and beat everybody by like 6 seconds. It's like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop killing! Stop it! He's already dead.
He's literally just beating a dead body. That's what he was doing.
Absolute
It's despicable.
maniac.
God. Oh my God. I'm trying to look at these ticket prices. I don't know if pounds is that more or less than good
Ooh.
old Declaration Dollar.
I am excited for Ivan Ortolo in Moto 2 because he's number 4. It's my lucky number.
Oh. Is he gonna be your guy now?
I've always liked Ivan Ortolo, but now that he's number 4 for sure, absolutely.
He's always been cool. I feel like I always put him.
Ivan Ortola had the makings to give David Alonso fits last year, but just things weren't working out for him. I feel like he has the talent he had the talent to challenge David. He just couldn't piece it together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I don't think he's going to do much in Moto 2 first season because not many do, if any, do ever. I hope Ayumu and the guys on their sophomore years can step up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see some guys in different colors, like Jake Dixon's on that Elfmark VDS now instead of Tony. Tony's on a Premac Yamaha team.
I hate it. I get so used to the color like matching the person, and then they just
yeah, it shifts around a lot. Like Celestino Vietti is no longer on Red Bull; he's in Speed Up. Barry Balsas is no longer in the white; he's in Fantic with Aaron Canet. Aaron Canet stayed, so you don't have to worry about that.
Woohoo!
Who else stayed? Diogo stayed. Philip stayed. Darren Binder switched. Joey stayed. Alonso Lopez stayed. Celestino's on Alonso Lopez's team, so he took Furman's ride.
Okay.
Manny Gonzalez, after getting in trouble with the Chinese, is now on Liquid Moly.
Sick. God, dude, we need to make an episode before everything starts, and there are predictions out there on who we think's gonna win.
We'll have a separate episode talking about the season coming up and all of that. Because
when does it start? Do you know? Off the top of
March. Typically sometime in March. Let me check the.
February 28th, so the last day of February.
Yep, end of February, beginning of March.
The first race will be on, race Sunday will be March 2nd.
Oh. So they start in Thailand, go to Argentina, USA, and then Qatar, and then Jerez, Le Mans, Silverstone, Aragon, Mugello, Assen, Sachsenring. They're going back to Brno, in Czechia. The Red Bull Ring in Austria. If that's Red Bull, not KTM, but Red Bull KTM goes hand in hand. They right now have a race in Hungary. Let's hope that stands. Just I have a fear of new tracks because they tend to disappear.
All I'm saying, Patty, there are still tickets available for USA. Just throwing that out there. General admission for 3 days is $115. All I'm saying.
Only $115 a pop for all 3 days?
That's what it says. Just for general admission. Not talking too bad.
Who's trying to go to Austin? That'll be a conversation that we'll have. Let us know in the comments if you would like a little live episode trackside. I don't know how we would do that. It might be iPhone quality.
We have to do like like a vlog style.
Or we'll just sneak into the broadcast room and just be like, y'all know who we are. And whenever they kick us out, be like, come on.
Well, okay, so we'll take out those security guards and hit bump. Lock in.
Yeah. And just be like, yeah, I know Valentino Rossi. And be like, what's his birthday? I'll be like, it's on Google.
We just need to find 2 people that have media passes, knock them out, take the media passes. That's the move. That's the move.
Now we cooking. Nah, but that'll be good. That'll be good. Now, really quick, we kind of touched on it. What do we think is going to happen to KTM? Like, actually?
I mean, dude, I don't see like a possibility of them like getting themselves out of this. I mean, that's a lot. That's bad. Like, I mean, I know that they are technically like, they're good to go technically for this upcoming season. Like they have a bike.
Mm-hmm. They have the team.
They have the team. But if like shit goes sideways, they can't really fix a whole lot.
Right. I wonder, because it's a KTM, like it's Red Bull KTM. Red Bull is going to have the money to supply the team, the riders with their money and all that. But I don't know if KTM is going to have the money to supply the bikes and the engines.
Exactly.
So halfway through the season, are those KTMs going to be running on, the scraps from the beginning of the season and are just going to be absolute turds?
See, that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen,
And that sucks so much for, Acosta, Binder, Anea, Maverick, all 4 of them on those KTM engines, like, because, I mean, in theory, Acosta has a chance now to fight for a championship. But halfway through the season, is that bike going to be a newly developed bike or a bike from last year because that's all they have left?
Yeah, which that sucks, dude. I don't know. I mean, I hope they can do something. As I don't know what. Like, I don't know what kind of ideas these fucking guys are coming up with right now. They're like, all right, guys, we have negative money. How do we do things this season?
They're going to have to sell some bikes in the States.
Dude.
KTM's going to have to go on an insane marketing spree. And I don't think it's going to be enough. Because they're going to lose it all in marketing.
We could just lie to KTM. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
We go to USA. Okay. We lie to KTM, say we're super famous and that we're going to market for them and help them bring up some more money, And then boom.
Give us a little bit of merch and we'll...
And then boom, next thing you know, we're having one-on-one with Acosta.
And he's telling us he doesn't care about us because he's going to Ducati anyways.
Exactly. This is exactly where my head's at.
And then you're gonna sit there and be like, all right, find a way to make it look like Marquez is at fault. Get him kicked out, and maybe you could hop in mid-season out of some chaos.
So he gets taken out for the whole season. Your team, they're gone.
They're without money. They can't. They physically can't. No, I did see a rumor that if KTM's out, that's 8 open slots. Or
four Ducatis?
There's 4 open slots.
More Ducatis?
It might just be more Ducatis. Which would be nuts.
I think it would be, which is kind of sad, but
I think they should divvy it up. Like, I think it would be one of those things where, like the factory Ducati would have 3 bikes in the garage. It might be something weird like that, where like, each factory team would get an extra bike. So Ducati,
That'd be cool.
Yamaha, Aprilia, and Honda would all get an extra factory bike because that's the 4 bikes. So that factory Ducati team can be Bagnaia, Marquez, and Acosta. That would be a crazy garage.
You know how how sick that would have been if they didn't get rid of Anea and they had Pecco, Anea, Acosta, bro.
You know how sick it would have been if Ducati was able to sign Martin instead, and it'd be Bagnaia, Martin, and Acosta.
I don't think Martin wants to be over there.
Not anymore. No, not after being done dirty. But if they were smarter and played their cards right, they would have been. They could have been like, yay.
I still can't believe the fucking what's his name? Like the head Ducati pit chief guy, whatever the fuck. What's his title? You know what I'm talking about?
Dude? Gigi Dall'Igna? Or
no, I don't know his name. The dude that was pretty much saying talking shit about Aprilia when it won.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what he said, but he was not happy. He was pretty much saying that they were being slimy about winning or some shit.
I think it's wasn't he wasn't Pecco's crew chief. No, that was
Tardozzi.
David Tardozzi.
Team man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The team manager.
The team manager. Yeah. He was throwing some shade.
He said Aprilia can buy the number 1 if they want. And the Aprilia Racing CEO, Massimo Rivola, said, I think we spent less than them for the number. I don't know why Big Bro's trying to throw shade when he knows that we spend a lot of money at Ducati.
I mean, all I'm hearing is a Ducati-Aprilia rivalry. An inter-Italy rivalry between manufacturers. If Aprilia can put a good bike underneath Martin and he can gel with it, and it's a Ducati versus Aprilia championship between Martin and Bagnaia again, and in the Constructors Championship between Ducati and Aprilia, and it won't just be a landslide with Ducati again, that is going to be crazy.
Nuts.
Because not only will we have the Riders Championship, but we'll have the Constructors Championship, which, since the dawn of time, that's kind of always just been in the back burner. That's just been Ducati.
Is it actually going to start mattering now? Is that what you're trying to get at?
I would love for that to start mattering, because I've started getting into Formula One a little bit, and the Constructors Championship actually they care about it, and it adds a little bit of extra. So if the championship's won and there's still 4 races left, the riders are still competing at their top level for their team, and it makes it even more of a team accomplishment to win. So it's only good things.
So hold on. Speaking on the Constructors Championship, you know how you were talking about possibly the main satellite teams having a 3rd rider? How would that work with the Constructors Championship if only the satellite teams have 3? Would they do
the satellite teams only have 2?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Well, I think the constructor still only takes the top 2 from each manufacturer, anyways.
Yeah.
So whether it's satellite, whether it's satellite or factory, the team that would be a part of the team championship, and then the team championship, I guess they might switch it to where it only takes the top rider to make it a little more fair instead of the top 2.
Ooh, dude, that'd be so nerve-wracking if you're on the team with 3 and you're okay, I want to be
the guy on top,
at least top 2 out of my 3 people,
right?
I want to matter to the team I'm at. Because being a third person, you wouldn't even fucking really matter at that point.
Right. And you would lose because if you're the third guy and your points aren't mattering, then the team is not going to give you as much information. They're not going to be as locked into making sure you have the bike under you, and that's going to deteriorate. So there's going to be added pressure,
which might not be a horrible thing. Like just because that might be an easier way for factory teams to kind of like rotate people in and out.
Yeah.
Which is honestly not horrible because, like, if you're able to get more and more people into these factory bikes, I think that's good. I think more people deserve factory rides.
It would level out the competition too. Instead of just two guys on the best bikes. I mean, we saw this year. Yes, Martin was on a satellite team, but they had the newest bike like they were a factory team. And now we saw, multiple guys at that front running dominant.
It wasn't just Pecco destroying everybody like it had been for the past 2 years. So, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of like questioning if having 3 on a factory team would make sense, but now I'm starting to like it. I've talked myself into it.
I see. This unfortunately is only speculation, and this could never happen. But I think I'm on team get rid of KTM so we could have 3 bikes per team. Which is unfortunate because Yamaha and Honda. Actually, it would be really nice for Yamaha and Honda to have an extra bike for more data.
Yeah, they could actually like do more stuff with it.
Right. They would
try different things. They could try.
They would be able to have 5 riders instead of 4. Granted, Ducati is still going to have like 7, but I feel like 7 to 5 is a lot nicer than 8 to 2 or 8
for
to 4,
sure. Yeah, I agree. It would be nice if we could see more.
Because Ducati did lose 2 bikes to Yamaha. Yeah, to Yamaha this year. So the team Martin was on is now Yamaha. They're now satellite Yamaha.
Do you think it's a possibility for a completely different team to just come in to GP and like replace KTM entirely, or no?
Like a different manufacturer?
Yeah, like a whole different team. That's not even like there yet.
I've theorized and thought about manufacturers that could come in, like BMW or Kawasaki. Maybe Suzuki could come back. No, they're bankrupt still, I'm pretty sure. They can't even fund a dirt bike for one guy in Supercross.
Oh my God.
I would love for BMW or Kawasaki to come in. BMW did just win the World Superbike Championship with Top Rack, which would be really nice. I would love for more manufacturers. It's really hard for a team to get into that level because of how high up it is. I mean, Aprilia and KTM are the new kids on the block. They're the newest manufacturers. It's always been Yamaha, Honda, Ducati for the longest time, since the 40s pretty much. So coming into that scene, I mean, Aprilia's been on the grid for they were around in like the 80s and 90s, and then fell off and then came back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they're still trying to get to that top level. And it's like just now they have a chance with Martin, but even there's still those doubts. So it's really hard, very expensive, and BMW and Kawasaki are just chilling in World Superbike. They might not feel it's kind of worth the cost.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I was thinking. I just didn't know how difficult it would be for someone that's like in World Superbike to kind of like move their manufacturing to like the GP level. I don't know how that works. You'd assume BMW they definitely have the money.
I was about to say, if anyone has the money to do it, it's BMW.
But if they want to.
But I'm pretty sure Pramac is now being sponsored by Alpine, who's a Formula One team. They have a Formula One team.
Oh.
And with Formula One's media team now kind of controlling MotoGPs, it's a stretch, but it's a theory. Maybe some of those car manufacturers are going to start making bikes.
That would be pretty cool.
I saw a prototype, like funky, like fun bike of an Aston Martin. They did like a motorcycle concept of one of their cars. Gorgeous. Oh my god.
All right.
Now,
fine. Hear me out. Ferrari bike. Fine.
I mean, that's basically a Ducati, anyways, though.
Pretty much. That's kind of what.
Like, we already got the Ferrari of motorcycles. It's the Ducati.
An Audi bike.
An Audi bike would.
I mean.
All I'm saying, Formula One, MotoGP, some Formula One teams turning into bikes. Let's get Max Verstappen on a motorcycle.
Put him in GP.
If he wants a challenge.
You thought racing on four wheels was hard? Take two of them away.
Yeah. You thought,
God.
No pit stops this time. If something's amiss, you gotta ride it out.
You're just done.
You no pit stops for you, Bubba.
Oh my god, dude. Now I am looking forward to see like how F1 incorporates GP, or like what they're trying to do with like the marketing of it. I hope they can start to like spread it more, because I know it's super GP is obviously super well known in like Europe and other countries, but it's not very well known over here in America,
right?
At all.
The biggest downfall of GP is the motorcycle community in America.
Yeah,
I mean, the biggest races in GP are 400,000 people. An average race is about 100,000 people. Circuit of Americas is maybe 80. And that's a bunch of people trying to go from all over, and it's 80. And then there's a college, there's a random college football game in the middle of the seasons getting 150,000 students in a smaller circle.
Right.
Or an NFL game's getting however many of those stadiums hold. It's like 400K.
And I feel like F1,
F1
not like
is huge.
Yeah, but I'm saying like not too crazy recently, but like kind of recently, it's beginning to like be a lot bigger in America. Like more people in America are starting to like care about it.
Yeah, now that it's on ESPN. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And like the past like 10, 15 years, it's like really went up here. Anyways, we have we have the race in Vegas, don't we? Is there another one in the U.S.?
Yeah, there's one in Miami, one in Vegas for Formula One now. There might be is there three?
I don't know.
I think there's only just the two. But regardless, with the popularity of Formula One, I'm hoping they can help, piggyback, like MotoGP can kind of piggyback off of Formula One's success.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I want racing needs to be bigger in America, and I don't know how to market that. I don't know how to just be like, yeah, racing's the best, because like the NFL's dope. I'm a huge NFL fan. I love football, college football, all that, and I get it, but it very much overshadows every other sport in the world. And
for sure,
the American market is very football first, so it's hard to kind of be like, hey, I
You want to
know.
look at something
I
else?
know the Cowboys and Redskins are about to play. But 5 hours ago at 2 a.m., or 8 hours ago at 2 a.m., this really cool thing happened in Thailand.
You should have seen it.
If you would have woken up or stayed up till 2 a.m., you could have seen a really cool thing live.
See, it does suck that it's like all over the world and like the times are so.
Which is nice that they have it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like watching a sporting event live.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because when it's a pre-record, you can always just open up your phone and cheat and be like, oh, okay, that's the end. But when it's live, you're like, this is happening right now. Oh, you can't cheat. You got to just sit there and be like, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's amazing because you get that you still get like your raw reaction when you're watching it pre-recorded, but it's like I don't know, live. It's just something about it, man.
It's
something
about it. So
God,
different.
it feels so much better, but it does suck when you can like just kind of tell. You're like, is this not gonna be a fun race for me?
Right, like you accidentally opened up Instagram and saw third place, and you're like, oh, I don't. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why are they in third? And then you're watching, like you kept your gaze away from first and second, but then you see like, the first 3 laps, and you see that the guy who's in third is in like 7th. You're like, what happened here?
Yeah,
something happened. And you're just kind of waiting for that to happen. You're like,
Dude, it's so annoying too because like I'll hop on Instagram. The first thing I see ruins the whole race.
You have to go on a social media blackout for a weekend, which is really, really tough when you're at work alone, bored.
I'm just stupid. I forget. I was like, I haven't been on Instagram today. Like, let's see what's going on there.
Oh, Martin won. Wait, I haven't watched the race. No.
God, dude. It happens almost every time, and it's so like I hate it.
The weekends where like I'm real good and like essentially keep my phone turned off for the whole weekend, I'm like, sweet. But there's that little inkling of being like, dig it. See who won. See if you're gonna be happy later. How happy or mad am I gonna be in like 5 minutes?
I'm starting to be in a good mood. Should I say that? Right?
I'm starting to like this. Am I going to be disappointed?
Oh, God.
But
yeah, it was really hard to not cheat when this final race. Just because I had so much doubt.
Yeah.
I saw the sprint, and I was like, we need a miracle. And then it was so hard, man. It was a tough race to watch. It was a good race.
I will say it was really dope that the MotoGP, the FIM, I guess company was able to find a track to go back to race for the last race of the season and not just be like,
yeah. I mean, like everybody kind of suspected what was going to happen, but it was nice still having that like what if feeling.
Yeah, we didn't have to sit there and go, oh well, what could have happened, and it instead of it prevented the Mickey Mouse tag on Martin's championship, which he deserved the championship, he got it for sure, but I if that last race would have gotten canceled, then 100% people would have been like, yeah, he won, but that last race was taken away out of nowhere. What if he crashed in both races and Pecco won? That could have happened. And that's the beauty of racing, is that absolutely could have happened.
And I mean, it could have been, it couldn't even have been his fault. Like, he could have got hit, he could have just got crashed out.
His bike, exploded for some reason, or he, really just didn't have the pace. And
Like, you knew he was playing safe, but like he wasn't like.
it's not a guarantee.
No,
it's
yeah,
never.
he
It's
didn't know.
never a guarantee. Because even when you're playing it safe, that's when you're most susceptible to a mistake because you're not focusing as hard or you're focusing too much. It's that very fine line. So, luckily, that didn't happen.
It was still a good weekend for Pecco. He had a great weekend. Like, he raced phenomenally. That dude was on a different level.
I mean,
it was too much. It was just too late.
He did everything he needed to do. I mean,
it just I wish we could have gotten some better sprints out of him throughout the year. Yeah. I get the crashes, they happen. But I wasn't too sad about that. Like, if he didn't crash those 3 times, maybe he could have won.
But it's then again, if Martin wouldn't have, fumbled his Misano strategy in the rain, then he would have won it in, Motegi.
Exactly. So yeah. I think Pecco just needs to. I mean, he definitely did a lot better, I think, in the second half of the season. Which has been a trend for him this year and last year.
And the year before.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I don't know. He just needs to... He takes a little bit to figure out the bike.
He takes too long to warm into it. If he can start off hot and then ride how he rides the second half of the season, he'll be David Alonso dominant.
No, like, actually, because I don't think, like, in the second half of the last 3 years, that dude's been unstoppable. He'll lose every now and then, but dude, he is the guy in first place.
After the summer break. I'm pretty sure if you take just the results from the second half of the last 3 seasons, he's champion by, double the amount of points all 3 seasons.
It's insane.
Absolutely, for sure. In that first season when he came back on Quartararo, that was insane.
Still, like, disgusting. Jesus.
Pretty sure he got all of his points in the second half of the season, anyways.
He was down by 90 or 80 or something.
It was 70 or 60 something.
I swear it was in the 80s, dude. I could be wrong, but
I think that was this year.
I can't remember, dude. Yeah,
Quartararo was the biggest one that he came back from. Last year it was big, but not as big. This year it would have been the biggest. It's almost like he was trying to stretch that bar out to see how far he could come back and win.
Honestly, dude. Let's see. Overcoming a 91-point deficit mid-season.
Oh.
Wow.
91 is insane.
Dude, Jesus Christ. The largest points comeback in Premier Class history. Oh my good God. That's when I fell in love with Pecco, by the way. If you guys didn't know. That was when I started watching GP.
It was the race that it was the week that I was like, hey, buddy, we've been friends for 2 weeks now.
Look at this.
I need you to get into this with me. And we're going to talk about this forever.
You're literally I was like, who do you like? You're like, I like this guy.
I like Quartararo because I think he's the best rider. He's got a decent bike. He's leading the championship by 91 points. He's he's essentially the champion this year. These are some other guys who will have a chance next year.
And then he's just honestly just pick somebody at random. That's what I like to do. And I was like, F-bag sounds funny.
That week he had his first win of 6 in a row.
Bro, he won 5 straight as soon as I started watching. And I was like, I like that guy.
The first one I was like, oh yeah, that was a good win. Good for him. That's awesome. The second race I was like, oh yeah, he won again. That's pretty cool. Fabio Quartararo's still, 80 points in the lead or, 75 points. He still doesn't have a chance. Then he won the third race. I was like, I think Quartararo crashed. I was like, I was like, there's still not enough time left. I mean, mathematically, he could still technically win, I guess, but Quartararo will just turn it around, and then he won again. I was like, oh my.
Dude, it was hilarious because, obviously you just put me on it. I wasn't even watching the races. We were watching when we were at work together. If we were working, on the Sunday or Monday.
The only way you watched a race was if I put it on while at work.
Yeah, and then I would just be like, "Dude, my guy's beating your dude's ass."
I was like,
and Pat was over there actually caring.
I think I was more mad at the fact that you had no idea what was going on. You did not care. You didn't know the sport, and you were like, "We win again!" I'm like, "You don't care."
Dude, you were like, "This is not how this sport works."
I was like, "Don't worry. It's like, I know you're happy now, but in the end, I'll win."
Did I actually start watching that season, or was it next season when I got into it? Was it the end of that season?
You watched a race here or there, and then when Bagnaia won, you were like, "I'm just a genius. I'm the lucky charm. I have to watch all of next season so he'll win." I was like, "Okay, yeah, it was a fluke, whatever." And then he won back to back, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's when we started doing the podcast.
I'm not saying it's because of me. As soon as I started watching, he started winning. I don't know what to tell you. That's all I have to say. And that's it. The second I started watching, this dude he knew.
That's fair.
And that's why he's forever my little Pookie. That's my
Pookie?
It's my little Pookie. That's my guy. Love that guy.
Well, I'm
is it? I was saying, is it? I think it's about time.
I think it's about that time. We'll have another episode for y'all in 3 years.
Maybe a month or two after the first race starts the next season.
We'll give out our predictions for the season and
we'll give out our predictions after race 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
We'll probably wait until the new liveries are all dropped, and then once the liveries are dropped, we'll do an episode talking about the liveries again, like we did this season, and then our predictions for what we'll see. So it might be a while. We might. We'll see. If y'all want more, let us know in the comments. Most of you have my number. Shoot me a text.
Most of you are related to me. See you at Christmas.
But this has been the MotoGrandPodcast throughout the 2024 season, and that's a wrap, baby. I mean,
thanks for sticking with us if you did.
And we'll see you next year.